Welcome back to the Gym Teacher Dreams podcast. This has been a podcast that we have tried to get together for a couple weeks now, at least. And again, schedules just don't work out. So here we are, Gym Teacher Dreams podcast, dynamic duo tag team champions of the world of podcasting. I am Ryan.
I am Ray.
And today is a special one. It's our first mock draft. I don't know how many we're going to have, but we've got a mock draft and, the whole offseason for the Chicago Bears from free agency to the draft. I don't know about Ray, but I have simulated a draft, probably about 100 times. And I'm ready. I'm ready to put the Bears back for a playoff run next year. How about you? How do you feel confident in what you have?
I've done a few less drafts. I probably am around 25 or so. I feel we've done this like 3 years in a row. I feel like where we've tried to fix the Bears, we go through fixing the Cubs and whatever. So maybe one of these years we'll get it right,
Well, I wonder if we should look back to see how we did, if they probably did not pick who we did, but this year, like I said, we may do it multiple times. Who knows? Because some of the people that are, buzzed in the draft haven't really said they're declared for the draft yet. So some of the guys that we select may not be in the draft by when it's said and done.
One of the issues that I do have with the Pro Football Focus mock draft is that there are individuals in there who have said that they're returning to school, so and there's probably some the other way who are going to go to the draft and maybe aren't in there or properly rated. It's just a mixed bag. It's really, really hard to use that and do a mock draft. In my
Which one do you use?
Pro Football Focus.
You introduced ProFootballNetwork.com.
Okay.
So anyways, so if I draft someone that's already said they're going back, you gotta let me know.
All right. I mean, the only ones I would maybe align at.
Oh, okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do is I thought that we're going to give you our, not our kind of our mock draft, our depth chart for the Bears, including the, the rookies or the free agents that we feel we would like to have. And, we could talk a little more, less, what do we want about the guys, but obviously it's not going to be perfect. We're not going to have all 53.
Yours isn't perfect?
Well, I don't have 53 guys because I don't have some of the, the guys that fill out special teams.
Okay.
So that's where it was. Mine's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. So okay. I'm gonna see. I created a document quick here. Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. I'm very proud of you. I can't wait to get into this. But so using ProFootballNetwork.com, I did start a draft, and immediately I have 6 trade offers. And the Texans want to move up one spot. Holy cow.
Yes.
And they're giving us the second pick, 12th pick, 33rd pick.
Yep.
They're also next year we get a couple first round picks. It's crazy.
Yeah, but see, I did not use that. But I did use that an awful lot. But for my final one that I went with right now, I did not. So
okay.
So very simple depth chart. But yeah, is that the one you used or is it similar?
This is not the one I was using, but I started it just to kind of see where you were at. And actually, now that I see this, I think this is the one that you introduced me to last year. I don't know how I got into the Pro Football Focus one. And
it's difficult. Maybe I should put that up there is because the trades, maybe we'll do that at the end, but the trade itself, like, why would we trade with the Lions and the Packers? Those two of the 4 are the Lions and the Packers.
Very early on, this frustrated me greatly, and I know how you in a couple of our recent episodes you start with a rant or whatever. Yeah, I mean that's something that drove me nuts is how people immediately are like trade with the Lions. What was it? They had like the 6th and the 11th or something like that. Whatever they had, 2 early first round picks, and that's why everybody wanted to trade with it. The Lions would never do that. That's ridiculous for many reasons. We won't get into them now, but yeah.
Especially Jared Goff playing well, and they use that pick for just right now they're probably odds on favorite to win the Central next year.
Yeah,
North. All right, so let's get going here. So I think we're both, maybe I'm not, I got Justin, maybe I should put my first, okay, who do you got quarterback?
Yeah, Justin Fields. Several months ago, I think even on a podcast, and anybody who would listen, I said he was a bust. But I think, since that point, proved himself, and I've changed my stance on him. I've eaten my words, I guess. I do think he has skills. He's not perfect. He does some things poorly, but he's young and he has a lot of athletic ability. A lot of tools that you can work with.
Yeah,
You can coach him to go through progressions maybe a little better. But some of his just raw talent, you can't coach that. So
he's elite. He's special. If
he
he can
is.
learn how, if can give him time, get some guys who can get open, and then he does, cleans up some of his stuff. We're talking not one, not two, not even three MVPs in Super Bowls. The Bears. All right, so I agree. Okay, here's the first, obviously, running back.
Mhm.
All right, I'll start with you. So, okay, give me one running back on this team.
That's still on the team?
That's on your team.
If I'm the Bears next year.
Yep. Maybe I should put mine first. But anyway.
Well, let me tell you. I'll give you my answer.
Well, let me tell you, brother.
I like David Montgomery. I would like him to be on the team. But what is it going to cost? You know what I mean?
$7 million approximately is what his market value is, according to a site.
So,
and Herbert is under $1 million right now.
Yeah, he's probably going to be in the same role at best. You know what I mean? He's not going to be your guy. I don't think. Maybe he is. Maybe they plan on that. But you either work something out with David Montgomery, because he's talented also. He has done a very nice job in his career already, running behind horrible offensive lines. I think they show these stats every now and again, but he has more yards after contact than like any running back, again, who has played in the same time as he has, or whatever. I forget how it's worded or whatever, but yeah, he's a very, very good running back. But now he's getting to that point. Running backs have a short shelf life in the NFL nowadays. 4 years is pretty good, and that's kind of where he's at. So his arrow is not going to be pointing up for very much longer. So again, the contract and money and years and all that is going to factor in. What I think the Bears are going to do is they're going to spend like a 4th or a 5th round draft pick on a running back, and that's going to be your running back next year.
So do you have one, or that's what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know if we're getting into the draft yet, but there are guys available.
That's so if you have a running back that you think that's drafting, this is a time to put him there.
David Montgomery. I'm going David Montgomery. If I'm the Bears, we got all that cap space. I think that $7 million I think that's fair.
Yep. At first, I did not have him, but as I did my draft, and I'm like, well, we'll bring him back.
Yeah, there's so many other needs. If you don't trade and get 14 draft picks, you gotta. I think kind of what you're alluding to is you gotta identify where you're using your draft picks, where you're signing guys, and I think the best use of money and whatnot is David Montgomery.
Right. So, and then I think we're both in agreement that Herbert is obviously back he's back there also, and Ebner maybe, but those two, I got both of those guys coming back.
Okay.
So, and I don't care right now. I'm not worried about the other ones. All right. Then if we go to receiver, do we keep everyone we have right now?
Probably not. What I have in my notes is you need a number one. And honestly, the idea that the Bears had, Ryan Poles had, by getting Chase Claypool, I think it was the right idea. I think they gave up too much. I think they should have given up that lower 2nd round draft pick, not the high 2nd round draft pick, which of course ended up being the first pick of the 2nd round, which is essentially a 1st round pick. That was too much to spend for him. He's not really a true number one, but I am still hopeful and optimistic. And, Justin Fields has said all the right things, that Chase Claypool will be a number 2. So you have Mooney as your number 3. You need to find a number 1, whether you spend a high draft pick on it, or there's just a couple people available in the free agent market. Or what's been, there's a little bit of smoke around that trade with the Colts. Maybe you have Michael Pittman Jr. as your number one. And if this is I see my column here says Ray.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm doing. When you get David Kaplan, who's tweeting that this trade, it's about to happen. I think there's some validity to that. I don't think he would just throw out that kind of information. So Bears with a trade of draft picks and Michael Pittman being part of the trade. He's your new number one. Chase Claypool's your number two. Mooney's
hold on, we're only on number one right now.
Okay, sorry.
No,
I see
it's
it receiver spots. I'm just trying to fill them up in a timely manner.
I know. Okay, so dang it. So mine, the number one whole thing, I'm not sure. For mine, I'm just going to put there. I don't know if he's going to be there, but I don't know if you can have a rookie as your number one. Maybe you can. I spent a relatively high or a high second round on my first receiver. So I'll just put Chase Claypool. I don't think he's a number one right now, but that's where he's going to go. So then you have Chase.
Are we getting into free agency later, or is this a time to talk
about? If you have someone.
There was some talk last week or maybe 2 weeks ago about Allen Lazard. Is he a number one?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, just he's a free agent. The Bears, to cherry pick anybody from the Packers, would be a decent idea, in my opinion. There's probably a relationship with our offensive coordinator and any members of the offense from the Packers. So, I mean, it would make a little bit of sense if you went that way, but he would be available. Juju Smith-Schuster, it'll cost you, but there's a number one who's a free agent, potentially,
Yeah.
That's about it. I don't know how you feel about Jakobi Meyers, but he's another top guy, free agent.
So you're thinking free agency rather than draft?
No, I think what's going to happen is this Michael Pittman Jr. thing, and then I have my 2 and 3 there, and I think you are going to have to use a draft pick somewhere to fill in probably your number 4. There's a lot of talented wide receivers in this year's draft. I think you can get, someone who will help you out.
Yeah. So here's my number 3. It's my first round. So here's what I did. I think you talked about using like the 4th pick with the Colts. I traded with the Panthers, moved back to 9, and then I traded with someone else. So my first pick is 12, and I got a bunch of picks. But at 37, my receiver is Rashee Rice from SMU. And so 6'2", guys supposed to be fast and all that. We can maybe, if we have time, I don't know how much we have time for, but that's my first. What the hell is Rashee Rice? Runs 4.3, 6, 40. At 6'2". So he's pretty high up there, but that's my first. He's my 3rd pick, my 4th pick that I have taken, but he's at number 37. Rashee Rice.
Yeah, there's a couple wide receivers that are always available when I do that mock draft stuff. One of them is Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee. I don't know much about these guys.
Fast. He's fast.
Exactly.
He's not big, but he's fast.
We did not have a lot of luck previously with fast receivers out of Tennessee, but recently anyway. And then who is the other one? Trey Palmer. Nebraska had transferred from LSU or whatever. That dude was legit, man. And then he's like going in like the 5th round in these mock drafts. If he's in the 5th round, I take him every time.
I think they keep and St. Brown. I don't know where do you want to go here for you?
I mean, I really don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking 53.
Oh my gosh. So all right. So if you like for me, St. Brown, they love him to block, but I also picked another receiver in the draft. So I'm going to put him my number 4, and we should know him kind of well because no Big Ten. He is from Maryland, and that is Raheem Jarrett.
Yeah, he's another one that's available in a college. I think he was highly touted coming out of high school. I didn't really track his college career too much, but yeah, that's a name that came up in some of my mock drafts. But if you want to put St. James on mine, that's fine. You can't cut everybody, right? I mean, these are probably
Right.
conversations that the staff is having, currently at House Hall, but you can't just wipe them all out. Like you said, there's 53 spots. Maybe you have 10 draft picks. Maybe you end up with 10. You can only spend so much in free agency, although you do have a large pool. Certain positions, certain people are going to cost you. So, yeah, you got to keep some dudes around. And if you want to put in, rookie, you don't have to name them, but I think they're going to draft someone. Yeah, Velus Jones, maybe he takes a step and he's a speed
So
guy.
I'll put him here for you. And then if you have one of the draft guys you think would be nice to stick, and a lot, like you said, there are a lot of them. Because St. Brown, I just think they love his blocking. They love to run. Even if we get some of these guys, it starts running. And so St. Brown, is a glorified tight end for the most part. As a running back, they let him. He led through. He wham blocked. He did a little bit of everything, I think, for him. So do you have one rookie that you think you'd like to see?
Jalen Hyatt. I don't know if it'd be either him or Trey Palmer. Both of them pop up around the 4th or 5th round, and I think either would be great value at that spot. I mean, like I said, Trey Palmer was very, very productive, this year anyway, for sure. He was like the only talented dude that Nebraska had, and he always was open, always catching the ball.
I don't know what that hell is. Gotta put something else, because the eyeball thing keeps popping up. All right. And then I got Jones. And from there. So there we go. So look, then is that a receiver group that could help out? I mean, you're hoping. What's that?
I like mine better than yours, but
it's because you got Pittman.
If you combine, and I don't know, this is probably dream world, fantasy world, but if you combine my idea of trading with the Colts with your idea of trading back even a few more slots, you could stockpile.
And I might have done that. To be honest with you, actually, now I think because I have, let's see here, I still have 4 firsts next year.
That's crazy.
And plus a second. So with what I did. So anyway, now if we move to the tight end, I think Cole Kmet, I think we're both in agreement. He'll be there. I mean, he kind of played a lot better. Correct. I'm not putting words in there, but we go Cole Kmet.
Be there. Yeah. This kind of stinker drafted him late.
A lot of times the second tight end is but every draft I picked, once again, we want to be a running team. I talked to you a little bit last time. Georgia's 6'8", whatever he is. Get his name here. Jeez. Darnell Washington is supposed to be just a mauler at tight end, and he's one that can develop into a, especially in the end zone type of guy. So my second tight end, I took him drafted. I took him the 42nd pick.
And where I'm looking at tight ends now, as a matter of fact, where do they have him going?
He's right around the 30, between 35, 40.
He's above Laporta. Okay.
Yeah.
7 runs a 4.640. Holy smokes.
Yeah. So we're talking 6'8". Yeah, 6'7", runs a 4.6, this says, but whatever. And just let's see here if they all right, no. Some of them it gives their draft thing, but others it just gives their strengths and weaknesses. But like I said, it's supposed to be just a mauler of a blocker, big dude, and then they didn't use him a lot in the receiving, but someone again. So that's almost every draft lately I picked him. I wanted this guy to block and then develop into a guy that we could throw in the end zone.
That's pretty high though. I think if Bears fans are gonna want to kill you for all the needs we have, tight end not really being one of them. You're gonna pick like a second or a high 3rd round pick on him or something.
Yep, I am, because we want to be a running team.
We do.
I got a lot of picks. Remember. All right, you'll be even surprised my first picks on this. So anyway, why did I do that? So you second, do you have a tight end that you in the draft or just any thoughts?
No, it's who was the Bears backup tight end this year? No one knows, right?
Yeah.
So
True.
I mean, it would be like a blocking, an end of the line guy, like Cole Kmet does, most everything else. But when you go goal line, it's going to be someone that no one really recognizes, or it'll be number 67 comes in as an eligible receiver, like that guy, whatever. Which I don't mind. A couple years ago, the Bears did that almost exclusively. They had like an extra offensive lineman as their blocking tight end. Like you said, if we're going to be running team, why not? Put a line in there or whatever. But no, it doesn't matter. It could be anybody. It's
All right.
unknown blocking tight end.
Okay.
Like Luke Ford this year for the Illini,
But for me, I went to get this guy, and so he's mine, all mine. All right, tackle. Who's our left tackle? Braxton
Okay.
Jones.
I don't know. You got to figure that out. Is he a left tackle? I don't think he is. But again, that's part of.
Can you move him to guard?
Happening right now. He might be a right tackle. I don't know, but he's not a left tackle. But guard.
So can I just put him as a tackle right now, and we'll fight for it later?
That's fine.
As in the Bears can.
Where do you see Cody White here? If we're talking guards, I know we don't want to jump too far ahead.
Guard, I guess.
Okay, I think Tevin Jenkins is a guard.
Is a guard, yeah.
So I think Braxton Jones has to
be tackle, right?
Yeah, he's probably my right tackle though.
Okay.
Left, I already told you on the phone one time when we were, doing the pre-show meeting a while back. I'm spending money and I'm getting Orlando.
That's right. You're getting Orlando Brown, putting him down right now.
Yeah, one of the best left tackles, in the league. He's still relatively young.
Like we talked about, I was not aware of that.
Yeah, so that's my left guy. He's my number one free agent target, and I think he would enjoy the opportunity to play with someone like Justin Fields. Be his blind.
So I drafted 2 tackles, and the first one I drafted in the first round, at the 21st pick, I took Peter.
I love
Skorsky
from Northwestern.
Yep.
I don't think he's going to be around at 21, but I like where your head's at. I think he's going to be a real nice left tackle for someone in the league for a long time. But I don't think it's going to be the Bears at 21.
Okay. All right. Just so you have Orlando Brown, and then they got Borum. Is he back?
Well, I was going to ask you. I for a moment we forgot about Borum. I think he's back. I think he's another one who has some tools. You just have to coach him up. He's young, and sometimes it takes a couple years for the linemen to kind of figure it out. Similar to receivers, they say receivers such a hard position to transition from college to NFL. But I think he's in the rotation somewhere. I don't know how.
Is it Larry?
Yeah.
So much because I drafted past him. I'm recruiting, and I'm like, and then so for me, I got another rookie. If we're going, I had number 96. There was still a tackle there that intrigued me. So I decided he may not start. He may, but I couldn't pass him up in the draft. And that is from BYU, Blake Freeland. So let me get up. I think he's 6'8". Yeah. Grades out very high. So I think he grades out, I'm almost higher than Shorshky.
Wow.
But yeah, he's 6'8", I can't even 305, so big dude. And he was there at, like I said, where am I? He's there at 96, and I couldn't pass him up.
You know, I'm just throwing this out that this guy's not on my list, but if you want two new tackles, Mike McClinchy, San
Yeah,
Francisco 49ers, out of Notre Dame. I liked him out of college. Bears obviously like the last 10 years have needed tackles for what, never fixed that, kind of like the quarterback position, but free agent. So you could get Orlando Brown on the left side. You could get McGlinchey on the right side. I'm not gonna get both of them. That's dream world, but he is a free agent. Instead, someone that I do plan on drafting, I guess, because he pops up quite frequently. I Now that I see this, it would be a second round pick, and I don't want to spend a second round pick on an offensive tackle that's not going to start. But the tackle out of North Dakota State University, Cody Mauch. Yeah.
Or Mott, whatever, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't think anybody knows how to pronounce it, but yeah.
yeah, but he came up a lot also. But I went, like I said, I got one early, one late, and we'll go from there. So we said Cody. So we go to guard center because Cody. What did
White
White
hair?
hair.
He's guard center for sure.
I agree. He'll be there.
Lucas Patrick, we still got him
Yep.
on contract.
Yeah, he'll be there.
Did he even play last year?
Yeah, but he played guard for a while, and then I think they moved him to center. And then what about Tevin Jenkins?
Yep. Who you better write down? Doug Kramer, backup center.
He was on my list. I had to add more because I did draft a inside guy also.
Yeah, there's a couple dudes available on my list. Yeah.
So do you want to put Dougie there? Because he's definitely on my list from the U.
Yeah, he's on my team.
How about Cody? What's Mustafer? Sam Mustafer.
He is a free agent. Are you re-signing him? I don't know what it'll cost.
I don't think it'll cost very much, but I think with drafting someone, and then with these guys, I just think that they moved him out of starting lineup anyway. So I think he's there. So who's your rookie that you inside?
Well, there are a couple of them. This BB kid from Kansas State, he's a guard. His name pops up quite frequently. John Michael Schmitz played a lot at Minnesota. Michigan's center, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he popped up frequently. But a guy I told you about on the phone that you can get, it looks like in the 6th round, he constantly was popping up in the 6th round, and I was picking him an awful lot. A kid from the state of Illinois, out of Springfield area, Nick Broeker, Broeker.
Is that your guy then?
Yeah, he's an offensive lineman.
Say it again.
Broeker, Broeker. And a couple things I like.
Say it. I'm sorry. BRO.
E.
Oh, just Broeker.
No. There's an E after the O. Sorry.
There. That. All right. I saw him.
He played an awful lot of positions in his time at Ole Miss. He started a lot. I think he was a 4-year starter, like 3.5-year starter. Played a little tackle, played some guard. So I think in a backup role, he could be your swing lineman. The dude that can play wherever dude comes out hurt, he plugs in. Big, strong kid. So I like him.
And then again, at 54, Cedric Von Prom was there from Georgia. So I took him as, to be in the mix. Again, I know these are high pick, but we need linemen. We saw how they're hurt. So, all right. So if we look at this is our offense here. If I see here, if I can know how to do stuff. I gotta move something. If I can get, so what do you think? So offensively, again, I should have put here free agent for you. And then, okay. So offensively, looking at you were happy with you like your receivers better than mine, but is this offense better? It has to be, right?
Yeah, exactly. And this came up on Twitter recently where a family friend, yeah, someone, it's Cubs convention, right? So they mentioned the Cubs free agent acquisitions. And this family friend from back home, he said, meh. Yeah, of course. There's no big namers. No one's gonna get super excited, but the Cubs got better. You know what I mean? And that's the case here. Maybe nothing outstanding except you're gonna spend a lot of money on that left tackle, but we're getting better, and that's the important thing.
Yep. And they said I did not do any free agency on the offense, as you see. I've got what, one, two, I got 5 rookies in the mix in offense right now. So it's tough to go rookies, but again, you either, what are you going to spend it on? All the free agents, or are you going to take a chance? We all have all these picks. Hopefully, they say about half pan out. I'm hoping a few more. And this GM, more than 3/4 at least, minimum.
Yeah.
But I do like, okay, if we play Madden, I like playing rookies. So, for me, Rice gives you a bigger receiver that can run a little bit, to help. With Claypool, Mooney's a quick guy. Jarrett's kind of in between, can do a little bit of both. Palmer's kind of the same bigger guy, but has very successful. Again, my tight end at 42, you think is a little, we don't need, but again, I think we're, they want to run. That's why I picked him. And then of course we need to find an offensive line. Though the offensive line started playing better, I still think we still need better dudes.
Yeah.
The defense. That's where, man, we were bad defense, especially when we made the trades. Ugh. All right. So DN, I don't know if you want to pick starters or just put the guys who are there first and then go from there. What do you want to do? So,
well, I think it's going to look a lot different. But I have Gibson as a
right.
Yeah, DN.
It's Travis, correct? Yep.
Yeah.
I had to write everything down. So I do too. He has to be there. He's under contract. You need depth. And Dominic Robinson.
Yeah.
Dama.
It doesn't matter. We'll know.
Yeah. Dama.
IQUE, something like that.
I did draft 2 edge guys.
I think you have to.
Yeah,
I really do.
You need edge guys, rush passer. We couldn't get to the quarterback. You and I probably had just as good a shot as everyone else on this team. Now another guy's under contract is Muhammad. I don't know who that is, but I'm not putting him on there. So give me a DN that was not on the team that's going to be on the team next year for your team.
Okay, let me see where I got here. Free agents. Oh, there's a couple guys available, but they probably have to build through the draft. DN. I don't have his name. Crud. Let's go with my second pick. Dude who is available is Will McDonald, an edge rusher out of Iowa State.
Yep. So his name popped a lot.
I am probably drafting Carter, the interior defensive tackle, number 1. But if you went with Will Anderson Jr., there are interior defensive linemen later. But going by my draft pick, I'm going 3 technique, number 1, and then my edge guy, number 2.
So I picked at 46. Again, I had a ton of picks. I'm taking Mr. Nolan Smith from Georgia. So he's my first rook that's I selected.
It wouldn't be bad if we just take, my guy from Georgia and get that dude from Georgia later.
Yeah, I know it. And then do you have another DN? Because I did, like I said, I drafted another guy who is no Big Ten, who was supposed to be a freak. He's kind of a boomer bust type of guy. Late. He's a freak.
Is it Brenton Cox Jr. out of Florida?
In many drafts, I selected him, but no, not this one.
All right.
So my second guy is from the Ohio State University, 6'6", Zach Harrison.
Okay.
So I'm hoping, they said that he's a freak athlete, and just a matter of is he going to pan out. But that's who I went with for my other DN.
Sounds like a different dude from the Ohio State University. Remember Alonzo Spielman back in the day?
Yeah, had some good years.
Yeah, freak athlete, boomer
Yeah,
bust.
yeah.
Craig.
So do you have another DN you want to put
Go
on?
ahead. Pencil me in for Britton Cox Jr. out of Florida. Gator
What
Chomp.
is it? Britt? I forget.
Brenton Cox Jr.
There you go. Yep. Yep. He was late on mine too, but in this one that I went with. All right, D tackle. So we know that Jalen Carter, you just said, is your guy, and
Justin
Jake Wrong.
is probably sticking for me.
I'm getting mine in free agent. Here's my first free agent. I'll make sure.
Oh boy, is it Deron Payne?
Yes, it is.
Love it.
All right, so yep, I'm shooting for the moon on this one, but I don't know how to spell it. But Deron Payne, that's my first free agent, and he's going to be my number 1 D tackle. So that's, again, with all that money, we could throw a lot of money out there. Just playing in franchise quarterback, chance to change the defense, be a leader. Come on, kid, come on now.
Can I pencil him in on mine too? Would it be wrong to get him as a free agent and take Jalen Carter?
Hey, we got the money.
That's what I'm saying.
That's too good. And then I went with the whoops. Yeah, I'm sorry. I went with the rookie from Oregon, big dude again. I think it's Oregon. Siaka Ika.
Yeah, I don't know how to.
I'm not good with names, but this one popped up, and good numbers, big dude. Oops. So again, I selected him with the 53rd. So just if you're counting at home, guys, people, my picks ended up being the 12 to 20 to 21 to 37 to 42 to 46 to 53 to 54 to 64 to 96 100 132 154 plus 4 first rounds in the first and next year in a second. So I have a lot of picks. I'm going with a lot of rooks.
You're executive of the year right away. You get my vote.
And then I think Justice Jones or Justin?
Yep.
Justin Jones is there. He had some really good moments.
Yes, for sure.
If he's not the number 1, he's a guy that can rotate in. And that's all I care about. You good with D tackle or you got another one?
No, I mean, the other dude listed as a starter from this year, Armon Watts. I mean, what do we know about him? Is he a free agent? Is he not? I mean,
he might have. We'll put him there. I don't remember.
Yeah,
it wasn't. Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right. So now I know the linebacker, we've got the strong side, weak side in the middle. I'm just putting them at linebacker, and they can figure out right now. They can figure out where to play him.
All right.
So linebacker, first thing, do you re-sign Nick Morrow?
I do.
So do I.
And honestly, I looked up other, linebackers, like outside type linebackers that you could sign. And statistically, he was one of the best. Played the most down, had the most tackles. I mean, it kind of surprised me, really.
Yeah. All right. How about another linebacker on the Borgman Bears?
Well, it's more of I've told you my philosophy on this. Jack Sanborn can come back. He would be more of a depth piece, in my opinion.
I agree.
You're gonna do it where you want to go with the Bears, he can't be your starting middle linebacker.
I agree.
I like the guy, big try hard, but he's limited in certain areas. Great special teamer, and it goes back to when the Bears were real good, in the 2000s. You actually had 2 or 3 guys that were like this, but Hunter Hillmeyer, he was a real nice, rotational linebacker, and a special teamer, but he wasn't going to be a starter,
Right.
Yeah. So that's all.
So here's another free agent for me anyway. Who's your next linebacker before I guess I go on mine?
I think you're going to have to build from the draft, and There's a couple guys that come up later. There's a dude out of Utah, Muhammad Diab. I don't know how to say it. Diabate. I have him as someone that I would draft later in the draft. And again, he'd be more of a rotational piece, see if he develops, whatever, special teamer. But he's on the 53.
I spent my first pick over highest pick, number 12, on a linebacker.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't. You probably. I'm gonna have to. So when I picked someone that high, the guy just you got to know him. I don't know if Trenton Simpson.
We're out of.
I do believe he is
Dubuque.
out of Clemson.
Okay. You could
So
do
he's
word.
so 6'3". He says it's 6'3", 240. Runs a 4.39 as a linebacker at that size. He's one that's moving up on the draft. Let's see here. Their scouting report says this. Well, this is from last year, but he's whatever. But we're going on further. But yeah, Trenton Simpson. I just think he's kind of a freak. I want freaks at my linebacker. So I want bad dudes like Wilbur Marshall. That's who I want. And I don't know if he's Wilbur Marshall, but he sure has the size and the speed to be able to cause some damage there. So I went with him. And then I also drafted a linebacker. Do you have another linebacker for yours?
Yep. Another mid to late round pick, Dorian Williams out of Tulane.
Yep, I saw him a lot.
And actually, I gave those dudes in reverse order. Dorian was off a little bit earlier than however you say the other dude's name.
And then I went with another big dude, big athletic dude, and went with the 64th pick, DeMarvion Overshown from Texas. Again, another big dude that runs fast and hopefully hits people. So I got two rookies again to go hopefully with Morrow. And I have a free agent pickup, veteran, relatively young, and he's just he's a bad dude. Now his numbers aren't great, but every time I watch the Bills, he was near the ball, and that is Tremont Edmonds. So we're giving him some money, and he's going to be a part of the Bears next year.
I think my last linebacker slot it'll be one of the current rotational dudes, a guy that they got from Indy, presumably because your head coach came from Indy, Sterling Weatherford.
All right. We have to be better at the front seven, no doubt. I think we've got some dudes in the back. We don't, we just need to add a here and there. But our front seven have got to get better. And again, can't get any worse. But I do like both. We're both where we're at. Again, you took McDonald, I took Smith as an edge guy. You took Cox, I took Harrison late, and then both of us want Payne, and you took Carter, and I took a guy a little later. So, and then linebacker, again, we've got to get guys. We got to get dudes.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So now we go to the back where we're a little better shape. And of course, I would say that Eddie is there.
Yep. Brisker coming back.
Yep. All right, Brisker. What's his first name? Give me help again.
Jaquan Brisker.
I think he's going to get a Pro Bowl or two eventually.
Yeah.
All right. And then see, I didn't see many backups that said safety in terms of their depth chart coming back. Do you know of any?
DeAndre Houston Carson.
Andre.
I'm glad you're typing, dude.
What is DeAndre Houston?
Carson.
Yeah, he's got to be there. You know, he comes in and he does a good job filling in, but he can't be a dude. You know, he has to be a guy there. I did draft late. Is actually and I drafted Ronnie Hickman from Ohio State at safety position. All right. Do you have any other safeties on this squad?
No, I think they're going to kind of hold pat at safety, but if you want to put in a name, just because I like the last name, Cruikshank. Dane Cruikshank.
Spell that.
Kruikshank.
See, Rook?
Yes.
Where do you play?
Safety, come out of Tennessee.
Okay. All right. And then we've got, that's corner. We've got Jalen Johnson. And I think some of the justice, what is it? Another Jones dude. He did all right, but I think he needs to be I don't know if he's a starter.
Jalen Jones. He was a backup.
Wait, did I spell Jalen? It's Jalen? I don't know anymore.
They're both Jalen. Jalen Johnson and Jones spelled the same way. I didn't realize that until I see it just now.
And again, we don't have necessarily not starters, but they're Vador.
Yep. He'll be your nickel.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry. Yep. Help me out with Gordon. What?
Kyler Gordon.
Jeez. Kyler Gordon. Yes, I think they love him in the slot. I mean, just shocking to me beginning of the year when they got the first game against the Packers, he was a guy that went to the tight end side. He's chased them around. We talked about that in a podcast. He was there and that's how much they like him. But I think he's a good one too. I think him and Brisker were great picks. So Brisker, is Vador back?
See, he's listed as a starter. I'm going to draft a cornerback relatively high. I think it's my third round draft pick. Where is it? No, yeah, third round draft pick. Cornerback out of Syracuse, Garrett Williams.
Big dude that runs fast, right?
Yeah, he was available every time, and I think you need an upgrade or at least competition there. Vildor, big try hard, but again, if you want to get where you want to get, he has to be a rotational guy. He can't be your starter.
All right, Garrett Williams, you said, right?
Yep.
All right, so I did not. This draft that I fell in love with. I picked a corner at number 20. So it was my second and it's Christian Gonzalez.
Okay.
He's 6'2". So again, you gotta have some big corners. So I went. So again, 4-3-2, 6 at 6'2". So that's I went with him at number 20 overall to fill in to corner. Hopefully be our starting corner opposite Jalen Johnson. All right, so there's the defense.
Vildor could make my team if we don't have 53 filled out. He's my fifth cornerback. But
all right, and you generally, what's his first name?
Oh my goodness, Kyler? Who's Kyler Gordon? What's Vildor? Kendall.
That's right. I'll put him there again. Another guy, Kendall or Kendall.
Well, it's actually Kindle.
Holy cow. K-I.
Ndle. I'm a gym teacher. I don't care about spelling. Come on.
Well, if you're gonna put it out there, I'll try to be right. Like a Kindle? That's how I got it
Yeah.
spelled right now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there is our defense. And I'm planning on a lot of rooks making a big jump. I took my first 2 picks on defense at positions I didn't think I would. But as I kept going down, like I really like Miles Murphy from Clemson. I'd rather pick him over Will Anderson. And because he's 6'7", true DN. So, but I like I said, this Trenton Simpson's supposed to be a freak. So I made changes here, and with all these picks, I went with that, and we'll go from there. But what do you think of your squad now?
I mean, I like it. It's not going to turn out this way, but at least we put something together. I'm not in the same boat as you. I feel like, where we are, it's nearly rock bottom, but I still insist that the parity in the NFL, you're never as far away as some people may think you are. And the Bears were close in a lot of games. I know it sounds kind of silly, but I think
They were, yeah.
3-14. I think 11 of the games it was like a 1-score game. I mean, so there's really only like 3 games you absolutely got pounded or whatever. And I just feel like here's where we're not in the same boat. If you're turning it over and putting a bunch of rookies in a bunch of spots, I'm not sure that you're going to progress the way that you want to or as quickly as you want to. So, I mean, we do need competition in a lot of these positions. We do need to get better in the interior, both offensively and defensively. I just don't want a bunch of my positions being rookies.
Yeah. And I'm starting one. I'm potentially starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's just 5. I mean, I'm starting probably at least half rookies. So I know you take a chance for a little romance, but I'd rather. I mean, I've probably got some couple of the big. Oh, I actually forgot. Dreamland. We get free agent Jamel Dean as a corner. I forget, that's a kind of a big deal, but I've got Jamel Dean from the Bucks at a high level corner.
Yeah, I wanted what is it, David, the linebacker from the Bucks, but he makes $12 million now.
Yeah.
So you're going to pay him more to come to the Bears? I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah, and he's getting up there, but yeah, that's the type of. We don't know. I was thinking, David Long is another guy I had on my list as a potential free agent guy, but didn't make it on my team. So there's so many guys. Yeah, so many guys like receivers. There's a lot, big receivers that can run in the draft. We can hopefully find the right ones. But a lot of the guys that you talked about were on one of my drafts that I tried. But yeah.
If we could find a Justin Jefferson, I would take it for sure.
Yep. That is for sure. Now, Chase Brown, if he's there at what they showing him about 125, right? Yeah. So what's that? That's like early 4.
Yeah, that's a name.
If they don't sign Montgomery, love to see the Brown brothers.
The running back out of Tulane who made a big name for himself in the bowl game. I mean, that's another dude who's available in a lot of mock drafts, So, yeah, there's running backs out there also. Now the kid from Minnesota, but I don't love dudes who, pounded the rock for 4 years. He had a lot of carries. And whereas Chase Brown really only played for a couple years for the Illini, so less mileage.
But a ton of carries.
What's that?
A ton of carries, though.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
But Muhammad's the same way, is what I'm saying.
Right.
I'd rather have a dude who had one good year of college, and may have a little bit more wear on him for the NFL. Because again, the running back position, you get about 4 good years out of it nowadays, and that's it. So
A bunch of my drafts, DeJuan Jones from Ohio State tackle. I drafted him.
something I was going to ask you earlier, mentioning that how you say Ohio State is you drafted some dudes out of Georgia. In Clemson? Are you one of those?
Did.
And I'm kind of this way. You draft out of the powerhouse college programs.
I did kind of seem that way. But I tell you what, there were two edge guys that, again, as you read, that one was from Army. I think Andre Carter II. I really, I obviously you don't know him much, but he came up, and then also Texas Tech, Indiana Wilson, I think it was his name. He popped up. I had him quite a bit, or a couple times, but another guy that's big and fast and athletic.
Yeah, the Army guy popped up a few times in the second round. So again, if the Bears, whoever take the interior D lineman first round, that's an edge guy that you could potentially get in that second round if you trade back into the early second.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Joe Tippmann was another one. Inside guy from Wisconsin. I had drafted quite a bit.
Yeah.
So Zay Flowers from Boston College, the receiver, fast twitch. So like I said, so this is our first mock. And then as we get a little closer, we'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
But I like my team.
You're right that Levante David is 33 years old. I would not pay him a ton of money. No, I changed on that. I mean, I wasn't.
I thought you said David Young.
Well, no. Where I had that up also. Here we go. No. Where are they? How old's Devin White?
He's 30s too, isn't he?
Jeez Louise, I didn't realize these guys are so old. No. He's 24.
Oh.
Maybe I was just getting those dudes.
Who?
They're two inside linebackers for the Bucks.
Devin White is not 24. No way.
That's what it says here. It says his age is 24, born in 1998.
Okay, it's 24. Another couple guys, Kobe Wooden from Auburn, D tackle. I read about him. That's another guy who was late that I really liked. So, pretty soon we keep this up. Maybe, us and Mel Kiper and the other dude, us four will be going. But I only care about the Bears. I don't care about anyone else.
Mel Kiper is not getting younger, so maybe when he retires, they're going to need someone, right?
Yeah.
Also, I mean, I'm sure he's a listener, but Edgy Temp, have you seen him recently?
No.
He's getting older. Someone's got to do this high school recruiting stuff. Who better than you and I,
Okay, this has nothing to do with Edgy Tim. We got to finish it up here, but one, we got three players that they're professor this upcoming semester. One, Michael F. DeVito. So I can't wait to pay him off.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's illegal. I would never do that. Our kids got it, but yeah. So they were like, "Oh, he seemed like a really good dude." I said, "Yeah, he's a great dude," because he said he'll help him. So Michael F. DeVito, and then there's another former Sycamore guy that's teaching a class at Kish, and I was actually out throwing darts with this guy and his family because I'm bad at darts. I was throwing it like quarterback. I was trying anything, but anyway, Cole Regnery.
Really?
Yep. He's like, yep. So he's got a class there, and he was it was late when we got there because it was after the game, but I don't forget he's been teaching somewhere else, but yeah, he's got one class at Kish. So yeah, that's all. So yeah, we got some fresh blood at Kish, but some of our former students, especially the Michael F. DeVito. And Cole said that Michael F. DeVito talks about our podcast all the time.
All right.
And he knows how much we love him, but the DeVito man. But yes, so I don't know if Cole's ever listened, but he says he's heard Michael talk about it all the time.
Sweet.
Yep. All right. This has been the first edition of the 2023 NFL Bears draft / depth chart from Gym Teacher Dreams podcast. I went with rookies. Ray went a little more, the other route, which that's about how we do. If we went, you and I went, let's say, gambling, I'm guessing you're going to be conservative and I'm going to be a little less conservative. How about that? I think that's how we roll, right?
Pretty much.
All right. Well, until next time, America, we love you.
Tell a friend. Subscribe.